So Pulsechain Lopez, it's so easy to start a video and just talk about that. But I think, like, what would Ricky do, bro? Like, Ricky be like, ghost a hater. And that's how I feel about Ricky. Does he deserve the airtime that everyone continues to give him? The charts don't say that. Your returns on all that don't say that. Hex was different. This ain't Hex. None of these things are Hex. I hope it all works out. I really do. But I don't think he deserves the airtime. You know what I'm saying? That don't pay the bills, man. And that seems to be something that I think a lot of people are struggling with these days. It's quite a shame. So forgive the noise, forgive the background. It's just the sound of cars passing over this bridge as I'm under it. Thank God, still not waiting for Pulsechain to pump, but waiting on other things. See, the more things change, the more they stay the same. You know, I would class myself a team player. You know, it's going to be hard for me to like dance around some things here. So by all means, don't take it personal. I have some NFTs that I've, placed for sale, and they just like, there's no demand for them. And I'm like, damn, I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, but it is perplexing that because so many people paid half of an Ethereum at higher prices in ETH, that for some reason these NFTs that are cheaper than the pre-sale price, technically, so to speak, there's just zero demand. And I'm thinking, shit, like, on a level, I'm thinking, shit, if there's some value here. Now, like me, I think there's some expectations that I should be making content telling people what value these things hold. Because, I mean, I can articulate it really well, especially when motivated properly. And I don't mean like in some artificial way. I mean like genuine from the heart kind of shit, which is so hard to come by these days because my heart is in such a dark place, right? On a real level, you know. Like, I always think about that stuff too, man. Like, when I'm like thinking, I'm like, man, I'm listening back to some of my old videos that have come across over the past months, right? And I'm like, man, people must listen to this shit and be like, yo, bro is off the deep end. And in many ways, I guess it's true. But one of the like, let's just say one of the most prolific YouTubers, the original number one YouTuber, PewDiePie, right? Like, he's like from a different era, obviously, but he was always like, if there's any advice I could give, like, don't be fake. And in fact, I used to get so much comments and commentary and feedback, even on my own channel. It was like, yo, saying you keep it real, bro. Like, that's what's up. You keep it real, bro. And I try to. I'm human, though. I make mistakes. I have to admit those things. And I have to wear them and eat them and carry them with me, I think I've fallen so far from where I used to be and who I thought I used to be. There's a part of me that, like, in many ways I want to entertain with my content. But, like, I think for everybody, if we could all agree that life is getting so heavy, I don't know about all of us, but a lot of us are still living very, very great quality of life kind of existences that kind of give you a way to escape the everyday shit that probably people like me got to deal with. And it's far deeper and sadder and more fucked up than you can imagine, right? Because it's like, oh, be too real. Don't, be real. But like, see, the problem is sometimes I can be too real and still leave everything out. I can just give you the reaction or the emotions or the reality, but I can't really keep it real. Like, maybe I'd embarrass myself, or maybe you'd think less of me, or whatever. So I've confided in just a few of my friends, like a very small handful of them. And these are the most important people in my recent life. They've performed miracles for me. And, that's a pretty kind of shit way to exist, if I'm being honest. Being reliant upon people greater than yourself at times to pick up the slack, where you, as a grown-ass man, right, but yeah, as a grown man, are falling short against all odds, against all effort. And it's a shock. And, I was really fucking, really heavy on myself about these things. Because one thing I hate to do is ask somebody for something. And I'm going somewhere here, so please just bear with me. And so I was thinking about all this. And these NFTs, and I'm like, well, I could make content about them from the heart. And like I said, I think the expectation is, the obvious expectation is that I'm supposed to articulate very clearly and effectively the value that they hold and the value and benefit they may or may not present to the wielder of such an NFT. And I can do that. And I could do it. And there's two ways I could do it. I could do it because it's mechanical, because it's like some type of duty, or I could do it because it's from the heart and real. But then when I put them up for sale, I'm not seeing the value, and it's not me. Because, see, I'm just a reflection of whatever's going on, right? I love that. I can see that no one wants this NFT. And I think to myself, now, why would that be? They're cheaper than when everyone was buying them. Well, that's because there was some expectations set. And I don't know, man. Like, I have made the videos. I had to take a minute and think, like, where's this all going wrong now? I said, damn, I did make some videos. I argued with a lot of people that I think they have a decent bit of respect for me. I argued with them long and hard and probably made a complete ass of myself as they told me that 6 months later, this would be the result. And I said, there ain't no fucking way. Like, nah, bro, you stupid. My man's be cooking. And I know he does. And I have faith in that, right? But sometimes the immediate reality surrounding my circumstance is greater than, well, maybe 6 more months from now. Maybe if I was lucky and great, blessed enough, I could just sit on these and stare at them as a testament of my friendship and the long-standing relationship and things that have come from our knowing each other for years and years and years. And I would be probably more than honored to do that. Without question. They're like gifts to me. And I like the quotes too. I could repeat them, but yeah, Like I said, there were the expectations that 2 things would already be here. And I mean, even as I sat here and contemplated why I can't get anyone to buy these NFTs, so that I could stop looking at the people that have held me down like a jackass, like I'm some type of jackass, pretty much. Like, yo, you good? No? Oh, okay, shit. It's like, a lot of things that were expected, they're not there. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to have those types of expectations. I'm not going to apply that kind of pressure or disappointment because, I mean, shit, I'm falling short all over the map in that sense. I know what that's like. You think you want to do something. You think you got a timeline in your head, and nothing ever really goes according to plan. But hey, I've failed. I've missed the mark. I've missed some deadlines. My family and my wife and my kids, they have some expectations of me. I'm fucking falling miserably short of that. So it's like, you know, I'm just going to be understanding. You know why? Because like I said, I'm a reflection. Despite my shortcomings, the fact that my wife can still look at me in the most fucked up of circumstances and just still be totally madly in love with me, loyal to a fucking fault in every conceivable way, but giving me her unconditional love despite whatever's going on right now. And there's only a couple people that I would even confide in this way. Not because of what they do for me, but because I consider them close enough that if I need to speak to them, what the things that I'm saying to them would never leave their mouths to someone who wouldn't respect my circumstances. They don't know me, or they don't care about me, or they don't care about me enough to respect my privacy. But I have a couple friends like that. And so, like I said, I'm understanding. So that brings me back to just this handful of friends. And I'm like, yo, okay. Like, I'm not tripping. But yeah, like, life is lifing. I don't think I'm out of line. I do understand, though. Resources are not unlimited. And you know, I kept thinking about this and I said, man, I pray to God. See, the thing is, man, I would keep it super serious. I pray a couple things, right? That if I, I pray I get to where you're at. And I pray you never get to where I'm at. So that you can understand that I would never allow this to happen to you. And it's not your problem. It's not your fault. I don't assign blame. My disappointment is greater than any other feelings that may be drummed up when I understand that I know it's difficult to fulfill a request when called upon. But I pray that I never get to the point where, see, listen, I've lived my whole life with shit, okay? So for me, in my mind at least, and I know it's not my mind, you know the parable of the giver? See, I have very little in my pocket, and I have people in similar situations. And because they matter to me, I had to pull almost everything out of my pocket that I had, and I mean literally. Almost everything, and give myself the tiniest of margin. But life was easy then, so it was like, it was all good. But I hope I never fall in love with wealth and resources so much that I would place the value of it higher than the safety and well-being of those around me. Now, I'm not saying that's what's happening, but I know if the shoe is on the other foot, me being who I am, I don't have to question that. I know exactly what I would do. We're not all the same, though, and that's understood. For a while, I didn't want to hold the title of Hokage. I love anime. my kids love anime. And they love nothing more than to sit back when the times are peaceful and enjoy a great bit of it with me. We learn so much together, and I think it's a great thing for like families and groups and all. Man, watch some anime, man. It's fucking great, especially for little kids as they grow up through life. You know, my little one, well, certain ones. So don't get me twisted. Like, it's all kind of fucked up animes, but certain ones. You know, we watch us some Naruto. That's where Hokage comes from. It's the leader of the village. He's the protector of the village. What I thought I was doing was taking a seat back from the title of Hokage. See, when I started YouTubing, I used to see everybody as vulnerable. Not at first, but eventually, as I saw what was going on. Like, it took me a while to kind of pick up on things. I thought everything was so innocent, and crypto was just like this great place, and we're all gonna make it, and blah, blah, blah. And little by little, I started seeing people that I really admired, and just people I tend to like stumble upon or notice, all just getting into shit and getting in trouble even. And that shit was highly disturbing, man. And that brought me to kind of like the scenario where I became someone who held church. And in my crypto is kind of fickle. It's hard to grow, right? I began to talk to my peers less than just the general public. And I really embraced that role because I feel like I said, just being a level-headed human being, I understand the value of the simple things. And it really bothered me that people, you know, because you're trying to get ahead or get above lunch money, so to speak, you're taking risks that you don't need to take. And I carried on with that for a long time. And I took that role with great pride. And one of the things Naruto says is, well, how can I be Hokage if I can't save one friend? Meaning, how can he be the savior of the village if he can't save his best friend? Because his best friend Sasuke went rogue. Okay, he wanted to be a bad guy now. And so he went on this multi-year spiel to train and grow. So he said, if I have to, I'm gonna beat his ass and bring him home. That's real dedication. You know. But this boy's mission was to aspire to become Hokage, okay? And what I thought very recently was, I said, I'm gonna take a seat back and default that role to another person. And I thought, I'm like, shit, man. Like, it's like the more things change, the more they stay the same. I don't think it's intentional, but it doesn't matter. I can only deal with what's happening to me, and put it through that lens. If I was in a great place, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, I wouldn't give two fucking shits. But I am the guy, and I think I have the right voice and the right standing to speak on this. And maybe I'm the one that should. But I'm not. It's not to criticize or critique. It's just I need to weigh my position and wonder what the fuck I'm doing so wrong that I find myself in the same position. You know, like, wow. I'm really perplexed at these NFTs and how no one, and forget everyone outside of the situation, no one values them enough to make a bid on an extremely fair offer below the pre-sale price. Not a half of Ethereum, a quarter of one, at a price point above what Ethereum is today in USD. So pre-sale wise, USD wise, below pre-sale. Nobody values them. And I'm thinking to myself, if everyone truly believes in everything that they're saying and hoping that I convey through video content, somebody's happy to steal this shit from me, because that's what it is, a steal, right? And so I set an omen, and I set a few of them actually, and each one I'm progressively horrified as they come to pass. And I'm like, fuck me, man. Because see, me, I have expectations that despite the lowly situation that I found myself in over the last few years, that this was a great sign of a reversal of my fortune. And I do still believe that, but it has not played to that way. And I have been waiting patiently for a long time, because I do not want for much. I just want some peace. And what I'm experiencing right now, over the last week or so, particularly, and even before that, but it's been, there's been great effort, love, care, and compassion thrown in my direction, lots of light shown on me to make sure that that suffering is eased almost completely for a time. But the going was still tough, don't get it twisted. And I endured that with expectation that one day, soon, if the things that people sacrificed for those NFTs, come to fruition, then everything was going to be just peachy. Boy, was I wrong. I'm perplexed. And I'm like, all right, well, 21 minutes in, if you've made it this far, you're the winner. One of the things that I've been contemplating through my suffering, and I always wonder, why does dumb shit happen? Why does stupid shit happen? Well, I try to take the silver lining in things and look on the bright side and say, had this not happened, I wouldn't have made a connection that I've made with myself and tap into a superpower that I know I have and possess and wield, but have always shied away from because I err on the side of caution. And I'd rather go with the sure thing, like Miguel. As usual, many of you know that. And I had so much faith in this situation that I would have rather done that, but I think I chose wrong. I mean, hindsight being 2020, clearly. I think I have two good friends that have shown me more recently than even before how actually good friends we are. And I thought it was a fundamental problem, because I said to myself, well, if I'm having an issue, then the people that I turn to when I have a problem, why do I think I should put myself above or exclude myself from participating in the same activities that got them to the point where they're even in a position to entertain me? Should I fall into a situation where I call upon them and say, hey, blah, 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 blah. And I said, damn, in both situations, in one situation, I feel it completely disrespectful to follow and do the same things that has my friend in the situation where he's the one being called upon. Should I follow in those footsteps? Because we know I can do that. That's one thing we are for damn sure certain I can do. There'll be great strife, potentially a commotion. There will be bitter enmity between what otherwise are two great friends. And our fates are so tied. I know it doesn't appear. Our circumstances are very far apart. Like the poles, like North and South Pole apart. But our fates surely are tied, because I think everything is going to still happen the way it needs to happen. But, I mean, it's going to be a lot easier with me there. Maybe I'm confused, but I look up at the moon and she tells me, hey, man, you could believe that like God said it. Well, you're right. And then I have a different friend who, if I were to copy and follow in those footsteps, it's totally joyed. And I said, see, now there's something there. There's the problem. I think there's the big problem. Okay. Now, out of respect and love, I would willfully not choose to upset an apple cart and not follow in one of my friends' footsteps. Right? Because of everyone else involved and how it would affect them as well. But if I was to do that, it'd be controversial, to put it mildly. But see, that's a problem and a flaw with my thinking. So thinking all those times where that could have been the easiest thing to do, the most obvious thing for me to do, I have shied away from it and allowed someone else to be Hokage. And then the other one, I felt like, man, I'm trying to shy away from following in his footsteps because I have so much faith in my other friend. But this person has valued me so fucking high that it's almost an insult that I don't do it. Especially because the result, oh man, he was in the stream and he asked me. He was like, oh my God, bro, is that real? Yo, when I told him, no, bro, that's just my trades I'm doing. I could feel the fucking pain in his voice as he realized it wasn't. He was so happy at just the fucking thought of me being way above lunch money. And I thought, shit, I really felt, I was like, my wife heard that shit. And she was, yo. She was like, is that face talking about you? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, yo, I'm whooping ass right now. I'm whooping straight ass right now. 92% full moon. You know what I'm saying? Blowing the count up, right? And I could feel the fucking pain inside of him as I informed him, no, bro, that's just me sharpening my knife. Because I'm realizing that I'm probably insulting you because you believe and know me better than most and how much I can do that. And that's crazy. And then I have my other friend where if I were to follow in his footsteps and emulate the path that got him to where he is so that he would never, ever once need to call upon me for any reason whatsoever, it's just a clusterfuck. And there's strife and anger and bitterness and sadness and disappointment and fuck that guy and blah, blah, blah. All this type of stuff that has to happen as a result. And then I think to myself, fuck me, man. My baby said something to me, man. And I think it broke almost every part of me. As I realized, I'm valuing my friend's feelings more than my family's present. Fuck their future. But, like, what type of fucked up, dumbass, I almost said the wrong word, I'll just say father, am I? To place that kind of value there at their expense. I don't know, man. It's a heavy, fucked up place to be. Decisions. But I think this will be the last night, man. I'm not doing this anymore. What I definitely am gonna do is weigh my choices. Now, I've asked for a bare minimum of something, my little NFTs. Okay? Somebody told me it's like asking Ricky to buy back Pulsechain. I was like, yo, chill out, bro. It's not that serious. It can't be that serious. Nah. You got it twisted. Nah. It's not like that. That's crazy, bro. Chill. Like, it's funny, but the shit ain't no laughing matter where I'm at, from my perspective. And it's a little heartbreaking because I wish I could just go ahead and shoot the shit and bullshit and burn some time spending time and hanging out with bros. But I mean, what type of dumb fuck would I be to sit here and act like reality ain't slapping me in the face right now? I mean, how could I do that? I'm lucky my wife is still with me, dog. Like, I mean, you know how fucked up that is? And so I understand I'm a difficult friend to continue to love. But I'm gonna need you to keep loving me just like she does. She don't love me because it's easy and I take care of every little fucking problem she has. I normally do, without delay and without problem at all. No difficulty whatsoever. But in the times where I'm falling unbelievably short, that love don't stop. So yes, I understand we'll do what's easy when it's easy. But see, it's these hard times that separate and show people who they really are to each other. Now, I had to talk with my family, and I had to really like lay some options before them. And we had this theme said "Stronger Together," and it was like, yeah, that's kind of common sense. But we got to go through the shit together to stay together. And I'm not liking that. Now, I'm a pretty resourceful person. But as of late, man, shit could blow up in your face. And like I said, I've been hard on myself about that. But I do also acknowledge that I'm not the only one, man. It's one in every other person. It's not a fucking joke. Like I could paint a real ugly reality picture for you. Not in the museum, like some real crazy shit. Real reality on the ground. I even thought about it the other day. I said, yo, I'm about to just like blur these people out and just start interviewing them. That's probably some dope ass content, because I think people are just in denial at how fucked up everything is. And maybe I don't deserve it and I should just fall by the wayside. I don't know. I might even agree with that. But I got too many innocent souls that'll be devastated to leave my presence once more, because I'll be damned if I call my other friend to send them back to me, because shit goes left like that too. I already tried that route. I ain't no dickhead, man. I ain't no dickhead, bro. But you see, the next time I call my friend, it's gonna be because I'm ready to go places that's gonna make people uncomfortable. And I hope I don't turn as callous as I think success can make people. And I understand the weight of that is great. It's always this, it's always that. Hey, it's difficult to love, but that's when your love really shines. Hey, you do something because you know what, I have an abundance. Let me follow through with this. Let me follow through with that. Why? Because it's easy. But it may be hard now. but it just defines who we are to each other. And it is difficult. But that's the stuff that lets it, that's how I know. My wife, man, she must really love me, boy, because I'd have left me. I ain't shit. She's everything. And I owe it to her to speak the fuck up. I owe it to her to, hey, you know what? Let me start trading. Who am I to think I shouldn't? I mean, I do it so fucking well. 23 or 25, 92%, 50K to 200K. Well, damn. See? But because I shy away from that, even when I'm given the resources, I can't, but we can't do that. We can't do that. Well, that guy that's got everyone to give him all their money is like, well, that's bad. We don't want to do that. You got to be afraid of your trading shadow. Now watch me trade. Oh, shit. It's underwater. Like a fucking Zen mint. Like, yo, dog. Anyways, man, I think I've rambled enough. Man, I really hope them NFTs get scooped up, man. You don't understand what's at stake, and I'm not going to keep explaining it. I'm just going to have to go my way. And I really hope that, I don't have to, but I don't really have a way to escape it. I really don't. So I'm going to reach out to my friends again. And we'll see. Maybe the bare minimum is all it takes. I could be confused, though. I could fall short of expectations. Maybe I might miss a deadline. But you know what? I won't stop going. I'll keep going like I always have. And, hopefully we all land in the same place, having a good time. But at this point, I have nowhere to go but up. And, yeah, man. Like I said, man, hard times make strong men. And I've been very strong, and I've been very patient, and I've been very considerate, understanding that my actions could lead to greater harm to people that have expectations, just like I did. And I really do hold them in high esteem, and I really do care about them as a group of people. But I say, hey, man, I have to weigh that against my kids. It was some great perspective. I had to sit on that thought for a day. Like, damn. Unfortunately, every time I make a decision to be considerate and not offend anyone in that way, I'm doing that at the expense of my family's present and their future. Because I've been living their present and future every day. And tomorrow, if I'm living it again, I'm going to probably flip. And I'm going to try to stay free for them because there's nothing else for me to do. Damn, this turned into a long video. I hope you loved it. See, that's that Pulsechain Lopez. He about to, man, listen, bro. Yo, God willing, bro. God willing. My incredible streak of accuracy is going to continue. And boy, I hope we're not on, I hope that when my shit turns around, bro, I hope we're not against each other. I hope we're all still the same people to each other. Because I think it's a little disrespectful that I'm not doing what this man is doing too. He's the only one that really knows. That's what's crazy. Anyways, hey, I hope y'all are all doing good. I know you're fucking definitely doing better than me. So, if you sleep well tonight, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to it as well. It's been a long time since I've slept well. It's been a long time since the people with me have slept well. That's a crazy place to be in life, isn't it? It is. And I ain't alone, man. And that's what's crazier. Anyways, enough of the woe is me shit. But see, that's being real. I'm out.